Hello 313G, and today I'm here to review angles and lines with you guys, and then I have a fun surprise. So let's throw it back to angles. There are three different kinds of angles. We have right angles that form 90 degrees. So here's our right angle, and then we have angles that are less than 90 degrees. So they are less than 90 degrees. And remember, my trick for that is like a cute little baby angle. So these are acute angles. And then we have angles that are greater than 90 degrees. I don't love the way I drew that. So these are greater than 90 degrees, and these are called obtuse angles. So we have right angles, acute angles, and obtuse angles. So right angles gives you that box, acute angles give you that acute little baby angle, so that's smaller, and then obtuse angles are going to go past 90 degrees. So see how it's kind of like leaning back, like leaning past. So I think we did a really great job with angles. Now I want to review the different types of lines. And we have three different types of lines. First, we have parallel lines. Parallel lines are lines that will never ever meet, right? So this will keep going and going and going and going and going in both directions, and the space in between these two lines is always going to stay the same, and these lines will never meet, and that's why they are called parallel lines. And I feel like parallel lines are the most easy to identify because they're never ever going to meet. Then we have intersecting lines, right? Intersecting lines are lines that meet and they cross, but they do not form 90-degree angles. So we could have all sorts of intersecting lines. And I'm just going to draw a few on this board. So these are all intersecting lines because they meet and they cross. Even though they're meeting and crossing at different points, they're still intersecting lines because they meet and they cross. Now, what's different about intersecting lines is that they do not form 90-degree angles. And you can see intersecting lines on triangles, right? These two lines are intersecting, and that is not a 90-degree angle. So on triangles, you see a lot of different intersecting lines. And draw another shape. It's hard to draw shapes freehand, the shapes. So let me try. These lines right here. Whoops, can't even say. These lines right here are intersecting lines because they do not form a 90-degree angle, so they're intersecting. But when the lines do form a 90-degree angle, remember that those are perpendicular lines. So when the two lines that meet and that form right angles, those are called perpendicular lines. And it almost looks like, remember when in social studies we learned the compass rose, north, south, west, east? That perpendicular lines remind me of that because to me this looks like a compass. So we have 90-degree angles. So yes, they are crossing and they're meeting, but it's different because perpendicular lines form 90-degree angles. So often you're going to see perpendicular lines in squares, in rectangles, because those all have 90-degree angles, as you can see here. So remember, parallel, the lines never meet. Intersecting, the lines do meet, but they are not 90 degrees. And then perpendicular lines, they meet and they form 90-degree angles. So you might be like, oh, who cares, Mr. Romano? I don't care about lines. Well, let me tell you something. There are lines all over, and I thought it would be fun for us to go on a little line scavenger hunt. So can I turn my camera? So I'm looking at my floor and I see all different kinds of lines. So for example, this line and this line are parallel. So if you look, they're never ever, this line and this line are never ever gonna meet. So these two lines are parallel. And then if you come down here, I see a pair of perpendicular lines, right? This line and this line are perpendicular because there's a little 90-degree angle right there. Then I started looking at my chair and I was like, here are some intersecting lines, right? Because these lines are meeting, this big line and this big line are meeting, and they're forming an angle right here. But this is an acute angle. It's not a 90-degree angle. So these lines are intersecting. So right then and there, I already found 3 pairs of lines. Then I was looking at my puzzle and I noticed that letters have different lines. So if you see in the Y, the letter Y has intersecting lines, and then the letter H has some perpendicular lines, and the letter T also has some perpendicular lines. So there are many different places that you can find lines all throughout your house, probably even outside, definitely on the floor, especially if you have tiles, maybe on your furniture. See any 90-degree angles here? This looks like it could almost be a 90-degree angle. So today's task is to find a scavenger hunt of lines all around your house. Make sure you find 1 pair parallel, 1 pair of perpendicular, and 1 pair of intersecting at least. Bye guys.